Have you ever wondered about the story behind the headlines, the one that doesn't always make the front page? Let's take a journey into the heart of Abuja, Nigeria. Here in the bustling city, a Chinese supermarket once stood, a symbol of the growing global influence of China. But recently, this supermarket found itself at the center of a storm, one that shook its very foundations and led to its doors being shut by Nigerian authorities. So what exactly happened? Allegations of racism were hurled at the supermarket, accusations that Nigerians were being barred from entering the store, a place that was supposed to be a bridge between two cultures, two economies. This incident sparked a controversy that spread like wildfire, painting a picture of division and discrimination. The supermarket was accused of fostering an atmosphere of exclusion, of creating a space where not all were welcome. This was a serious charge, one that resonated with many, leading to the swift closure of the establishment. A place that was once a hub of activity was now silent, its doors locked, a sign of the controversy that had unfolded. There was an outcry, a demand for justice, a call to stand against discrimination. The voices of the Nigerian people were heard loud and clear. The supermarket was shut, a clear message that racism has no place in today's world. But is there more to this story than meets the eye? What can we uncover when we delve deeper into it from the Chinese community's perspective? When a story breaks, we often receive just one side of it. But what if we flip the narrative? Imagine a coin spinning in the air. As it twirls, you can only catch quick glimpses of one side, then the other. Now imagine that coin is a story. Just like the coin, every story has two sides, and understanding both is crucial to grasping the full picture. Take, for instance, the incident in Nigeria, where a Chinese supermarket was shut down due to allegations of racist behavior. It's a story that has sparked controversy, and rightly so. Racism in any form or place is unacceptable. But is it possible that there's another side to this story that we're not seeing now? Let's be clear. This isn't about justifying or excusing any form of prejudice. Rather, it's about understanding that incidents like these often stem from deep-seated cultural differences and misinterpretations. And to navigate these complex issues effectively, we must be equipped with a balanced perspective. A balanced perspective allows us to see beyond our initial reactions. It pushes us to question, to dig deeper, and to seek understanding. It challenges us to consider the context, the culture, and the complexities that may be at play. It reminds us that things are rarely as simple as they first appear. So, what does this mean for our story? It means that while the allegations of racism are grave and should be taken seriously, it's also important to explore the other side. How has this incident been perceived by the Chinese community? What cultural factors might have contributed to this unfortunate event? And most importantly, how can we use this incident as a stepping stone towards greater understanding and harmony between different cultures? Remember, every story, like every coin, has two sides, and it's only when we see both that we can begin to grasp the full picture. So, how does this incident look from the viewpoint of the Chinese community? To understand a story in its entirety, we need to hear from all sides. So what does the Chinese community have to say about this? There's a saying in China, one who doesn't understand a look and a gesture will have to understand a whole story. This incident at the supermarket in Abuja is, in many ways, a story that needs to be understood from all angles. The Chinese community, both in Nigeria and back home, has expressed their concern over the incident. Many feel the incident has been blown out of proportion and there's been a rush to judgment without delving into the nuances of the situation. They argue that it's crucial to consider cultural differences and potential language barriers that might have led to a misunderstanding. In China, for instance, it's not uncommon for stores to have certain policies that might seem unusual to outsiders. It's part of a broader cultural context that emphasizes order and respect for rules. Some members of the Chinese community have suggested that what might have been perceived as an act of racism could have been a miscommunication or a cultural faux pas. Others in the Chinese community have expressed remorse and embarrassment over the incident. They acknowledge that the supermarket's actions, intentional or not, have caused harm and misunderstanding. They argue that it's a call to action for the Chinese community to foster better understanding and respect for local customs and practices, particularly when operating businesses abroad. There's also been a call within the Chinese community for more cultural exchange and education. Many believe that incidents like these underscore the need for Chinese individuals and businesses overseas to be more sensitive to local customs and cultural norms. They argue that this incident should serve as a wake-up call for Chinese enterprises abroad to prioritize cultural understanding and respect for local practices. The incident has sparked discussions within the Chinese community about the importance of cultural sensitivity and understanding. As one Chinese netizen put it, "When in Rome, do as the Romans do. When in Nigeria, respect Nigerian customs and traditions." In conclusion, the Chinese community's reaction to the incident has been varied and nuanced. There's been a mix of concern, remorse, and a call for greater cultural understanding. Many believe that incidents like these are a reminder of the importance of cultural sensitivity, especially when navigating in a globalized world. While the incident raised eyebrows, it also opened a dialogue about cultural differences and misunderstandings. Differences don't have to divide us. They can be a source of understanding and growth. Cultural differences are often at the heart of misunderstandings. They are the unseen barriers that can lead to friction if not properly understood and respected. In the incident under discussion, a clash of cultures might have played a significant role. Let's delve into some of the cultural nuances that might have contributed to the misunderstanding. Chinese society, for instance, has a deep-rooted respect for order, hierarchy, and harmony. This often translates into a preference for dealing with known entities, people, and communities they are familiar with. This isn't inherently negative or positive. It's just a different way of viewing the world. Contrast this with Nigerian society, which is incredibly diverse, vibrant, and open. Nigerians are known for their warmth, hospitality, and acceptance of diversity. They embrace the new and the unfamiliar, often integrating it into their rich cultural tapestry. Now, imagine the intersection of these two cultures in a commercial setting. The Chinese supermarket, operating from its understanding of the world, might have instituted policies that seemed logical to them, but came across as discriminatory to Nigerians. On the other hand, Nigerians, with their openness and acceptance of diversity, might have perceived these policies as a direct affront. Such situations underline the importance of cultural awareness and sensitivity, especially in a globalized world. Recognizing and respecting cultural differences is not just about avoiding misunderstandings. It's about creating an environment where everyone feels valued and included. But how can we ensure better understanding and respect for cultural differences? Education is key. By educating ourselves and others about different cultures, we can promote tolerance and understanding. We need to encourage open and respectful dialogues about cultural differences, challenging our biases and prejudices. Moreover, businesses operating in foreign countries need to take the time to understand the local culture. They need to ensure their policies respect and accommodate these cultural nuances instead of unknowingly causing offense. In this way, they can contribute to building bridges rather than walls. Cultural diversity is a strength, not a weakness. It's all about understanding and respect. In this increasingly interconnected world, let's strive to understand and respect our differences, not just because it's the right thing to do, but because it enriches us all. Every incident, every misunderstanding has a lesson to teach us. As we delve into this chapter, let's reflect on the lessons that this incident has imparted upon us, particularly the Chinese community and those watching from the sidelines. Firstly, the importance of cultural sensitivity cannot be overstated. Operating in a foreign country necessitates an understanding and respect for the host nation's customs and people. This incident serves as a stark reminder of this fact. It's crucial to remember that every act of ours, when viewed through the lens of another culture, can take on a different meaning. Secondly, the power of communication. Misunderstandings often arise from poor or lack of communication. Clear, transparent dialogue can help avoid such situations. This is especially true when language barriers exist, as they often do in multicultural environments. Thirdly, we learn about the significance of community engagement. For businesses operating overseas, establishing a good rapport with the local community is not just beneficial, but essential. It's a two-way street where mutual respect and understanding can foster a healthy relationship. benefiting all parties involved. These lessons are not exclusive to the Chinese community, but are universally applicable. To prevent such incidents in the future, we must all strive to incorporate these lessons in our daily lives. In the business world, companies need to invest in cultural sensitivity training for their employees. They need to ensure open lines of communication within their establishments and with their customers, and they must actively engage with the community they serve. For individuals, it's about being mindful of our actions, understanding the cultural context we are in, and communicating effectively. It's about learning and respecting the customs of others, and about fostering a spirit of inclusivity and acceptance. In the end, it's not about pointing fingers, but about learning, growing, and understanding each other better. Let's take this incident as an opportunity to reflect, learn, and strive for a world where cultural misunderstandings are a thing of the past. Because after all, our diversity is our strength. When we step back and look at the bigger picture, what do we see? This incident in Abuja is not an isolated case. It's a small piece of a much larger global conversation about racism, cultural understanding, and respect. Racism, a deeply ingrained societal issue, is not limited to a single country, community, or culture. It's a universal challenge that we must all confront together. But how do we do that? How do we unlock the doors of understanding and tear down the walls of prejudice? It all starts with dialogue. Communication is the key to understanding, and understanding is the first step towards acceptance. Imagine if, instead of shutting doors, we opened them. If, instead of turning people away, we invited them in. By engaging in open, honest conversations about our differences, we can begin to bridge the gaps in our understanding. We can start to see each other not as strangers or enemies, but as fellow human beings, each with our own unique experiences and perspectives. This incident also highlights the importance of cultural awareness. In our rapidly globalizing world, we are more interconnected than ever before. Our actions, no matter how small, can have a ripple effect that extends far beyond our immediate surroundings. Cultural understanding is no longer a luxury, it's a necessity. It's about more than just knowing the customs and traditions of different cultures. It's about understanding the values, beliefs, and experiences that shape them. It's about recognizing our shared humanity despite our differences. In this increasingly interconnected world, our ability to understand and respect each other's cultures is not just important, but essential. It's not just about coexisting, it's about thriving together. So let's start the conversation. Let's open the doors. Let's embrace our differences, and in doing so, discover our common ground. As we navigate through an increasingly globalized world, understanding and respecting each other's cultures becomes not just important, but essential. So where do we go from here? After reflecting on the incident in Abuja, it's clear that the path forward must involve a concerted effort from all parties to foster understanding and prevent such occurrences. These steps aren't just about the Chinese community, but about every community that forms the vibrant tapestry of our global society. Firstly, it's essential to encourage dialogue. Open and respectful conversations about our differences and similarities can help dispel misconceptions and stereotypes. This could be as simple as community forums, cultural exchange programs, or even one-on-one conversations. The more we talk, the more we understand. Secondly, education plays a crucial role. Knowing about each other's cultures, traditions, and histories can foster empathy and respect. Schools, colleges, businesses, and even online platforms can help disseminate this knowledge. It's not about erasing differences, but celebrating them. And finally, we need to ensure equality and justice. When incidents like these occur, it's vital to handle them with fairness and impartiality. This will not only serve as a deterrent, but also as a strong statement that discrimination in any form is unacceptable. In the end, it's about recognizing that our world is a melting pot of cultures and ethnicities. Every individual, every community has something unique to bring to the table. By acknowledging and respecting these differences, we pave the way for stronger, more harmonious relationships. Of course, these measures will take time and effort, but the results are worth it. Imagine a world where misunderstandings are replaced by mutual respect, where barriers are broken down by bridges of understanding. As we move forward, let's remember that it's our collective responsibility to ensure that every voice is heard, every culture is respected, and every individual is treated with dignity. Together, we can build bridges of understanding that are stronger than any barriers of misunderstanding. In conclusion, what can we take away from this incident? Well, first and foremost, we've learned that perspectives matter. This incident unfolded in a way that stirred controversy and led to the closure of a Chinese supermarket in Abuja, Nigeria. Yet it's essential to remember that each story has multiple angles. It's not just about taking sides, but about understanding the multifaceted nature of such situations. We've also heard from the Chinese community who offered their own insights and experiences. Their voice is a reminder that there are always layers to every narrative. It's not merely about the event itself, but also about the people involved, their backgrounds, and the cultural context they're coming from. Speaking of cultural context, we've also delved into the significance of unpacking cultural differences. Misunderstandings can often arise from our lack of knowledge about a culture different from our own. It's essential then to educate ourselves, to be open to learning, and to respect the diverse ways of life that exist in our global society. Moreover, we've gleaned some lessons from this incident. It's shown us the power of dialogue and the importance of communication in resolving conflicts. It's also highlighted the need for empathy, understanding, and respect in our interactions with each other, regardless of our cultural backgrounds. We've also looked at the bigger picture, understanding that this incident is just one part of a larger global narrative. It's a reminder that our world is intertwined, and events in one place can have ripple effects that reach far and wide. Finally, we've considered the way forward, emphasizing the importance of continued dialogue, mutual understanding, and respect for cultural diversity. These are not just key to resolving such incidents, but also to fostering a more inclusive, accepting, and harmonious world. The next time you come across a headline, remember to look beyond it, because every story has more than one side.